Hey guys, how's it going? So I have scaled ad accounts from 0 to 50,000 rupees per day, precisely 53,000 rupees per day. I've scaled multiple funnels to 8 figures and beyond. I have personally handwritten a dozen viral ads that has gotten our clients thousands of reactions, comments, and hundreds of shares. We do this day in, day out. I currently manage 2 to 2.5 lakh per week across the portfolio of clients we have in Facebook ad spend. What I'm going to share with you today in this video is how do we have a crystal clear pathway of how to start and then scale an ad account. Like, what's the approach we follow in a very easy to understand manner. That's precisely what I'm going to talk about today in this video from my own hands-on experience of doing it. Now, the first step that I want you to understand and where people get confused is how to have a very simple to follow strategy. Okay. So understand that there are two components that are responsible for a business's success through advertising. Okay. As a whole, from the perspective of in regards to Facebook ads, like managing, scaling Facebook ads and ad accounts, there are two components. Okay. The first component is campaign strategy. Okay. How simple and easy do you keep your campaigns to, like the campaign strategy as? That's the first, like your mission, your goal with your campaign strategy is to keep the campaign structure, the campaign strategy to be as minimalistic and as simple as potentially possible. Okay. The second component is the marketing strategy, which is marketing and advertising strategy. How do you plan to position your product in front of your audience, so your target market? How do you position it? How do you market it? What are the benefits you are going to talk about? What are the features you are going to utilize to convey the benefits? What are the results you will showcase to people? How do you plan on showing and showcasing the desired results that your product or service can help them achieve? How do you plan to communicate that through your ads? These strategies is the second component. Okay, so consider this like two buckets. Okay, if I have to just give you a bird's eye view, okay, a zoomed out view to have a very simple to follow understanding of this. Okay, so two components. Number one is campaign strategy. The mission, the goal is to keep it minimalistic. Bucket number two, which is component number two, is your marketing and advertising strategy, which is more to do with how do you plan to position your product and or your service in your marketplace. Okay, these are the two components. Now, from the angle of if I have to talk about the perspective from my own experience, the perspective that I have about campaign strategies is that now advertising is changing. It has evolved and it is continuing to evolve as we speak. One of the recent updates from Meta is that people and businesses in health and wellness space, they won't be able to run and optimize the ads for bottom of the funnel events. So bottom of the funnel events are events like you can say purchases or leads, etc. And the reason is because they want to be more compliant to the different bodies that facilitate the authenticity and the integrity of the brands that are promoting health and wellness products. So now, in order for Meta to be more compliant, it doesn't want the advertisers to advertise and make those claims that are specifically targeting those people who know that those people who have been diagnosed with something and as a result, buy something. So I don't want to make this video about this new update, but I'm just sharing with you that how advertising is continuously evolving ever since the biggest update was iOS update, and then ever since then things have been changing and evolving. So coming back to campaign strategy, ever since this evolution of campaign management happened after the iOS update, Meta's algorithm has become much more smarter than what it was and how it was before. And as a result, that's why you will see Meta talk about and literally kind of persuade you to use Advantage Plus as much as possible, because it wants you to give the control to its algorithm. And the reason is because Meta cannot allow the advertisers to do certain targeting and certain optimization because of the compliant issues, but the algorithm has the data already, so algorithm can do it better. You see what I'm talking about? So this is my understanding of it, and that's why keeping your campaign strategy minimalistic is always going to help you, because now Meta retargets on its own. And how you can conclude if Meta is retargeting on its own is you go inside your ad account and look at the frequency of each and every ad that you have running. Of course, it's going to make sense when you have multiple ads running. If you only have one ad, then it's not going to make sense to you what I'm saying. But if you have multiple ads, go ahead and have a look at frequency. Frequency means how many times one single individual on an average is seeing your one particular ad. So if you look at each ad's frequency, it's going to tell you about how many times on an average each individual is seeing that individual ad. And then if you look at the frequency from the ad set and or the campaign level, it will tell you how many times on an average an individual is seeing your all the ads combined together. What's the average, right? Because the ad set of the campaign average. So frequency is going to tell you that Meta retargets automatically. Okay, so running different campaign strategies with having specific retargeting ads, bottom of the funnel retargeting ads, is just useless now, because Meta is smart enough to do it on its own. And targeting is not the way it used to be. So interest targeting, laser targeting, stacking audience interests, these are all some methods that are never going to perform at scale. And because of the continuous evolution that keeps on happening, so always there will be some sort of a change coming your way, and as a result you will always be firefighting and trying to cope up with the change and not be prepared in advance. Therefore, what I recommend is following a broad targeting method. We follow a one campaign structure. We just have one master campaign. Inside that we have a one master ad set, and we have all the winning ads stacked inside that ad set. And that's pretty much it. You can go through my previous videos. You will learn more about this strategy, and I share everything with complete transparency. And I hope these videos will add value to your journey of building your own business and scaling your ad accounts. Okay. Now coming back to the second, going to the second thing, the second component, which is the marketing and advertising. Now, from that perspective, I want to tell you that what you need to keep in mind is that in order for you to ideate a scalable marketing and advertising strategy, you have to understand that there are 4 core elements responsible for a scalable marketing and advertising strategy. Element number 1 that you need to understand are called as, it's called as desires. Element number 2 so 4 core elements. Element number one is desire. Element number 2 is awareness stages. Element number 3 is sophistication stages, and element number 4 is verbalization. Okay, so there are 4 core elements to have a scalable marketing and advertising strategy. Now, I am not going to make this video talk a lot about these core elements, because these are core 4, and it's going to take me a long time to make you explain everything in one video. But just to make you understand in a very easy to just to give you an overview, that you have to understand that not every individual is going to get attracted towards the way you say things through your ads, what you say in your ads, how you say in your ads, what you show in your ads, how you show it in your ads. Every individual is not going to get attracted toward the same kind of a marketing angle and or the marketing message. Therefore, it is imperative for you to come up with different marketing angles and marketing messages so that you can attract different audiences. At the same time, you want to first realize that there is always going to be a desire that has the major percentage of a market share. Okay, so for instance, when you look at Apple's AirPod, when they launched AirPod, and they have a very successful campaign, iPod. When they launched iPods, they had this, their main headline was 1,000 songs in your pocket, right? Now, at the same time, there, if you go through and browse through on YouTube, iPod's ads, old ads, you will see how in one of those or a few of those ads, they used to end the ad by saying think different. So think different was their actual positioning, how they were making how they were making people feel belonged, right? Because it was like more creating like a tribe, like a community of people, like people who think alike, who want to think different, who want to stand out. So they had this slogan, you can say, which was think different. And their product was positioned as 1,000 songs in one pocket, and or 1,000 songs in your pocket. And the reason why they chose to communicate that and not battery life and not how other features of this iPod can replace the other music devices. Why did they choose to talk about this was not that it was a random fluke. It was because that's where the market's major portion of the market's desire was. So you want to understand this difference, subtle difference between the desires in general and then big desires, like big enough desires. As marketers and advertisers, our job is to not create new desires. This is where 99% of beginner or intermediate level marketers fail. They try to get in this fight of trying to create market desires just to do something unique. And even entrepreneurs, they fall in this trap. I have made these same mistakes. That's how I can say this with so much of conviction, that I have done this myself. And that's the biggest mistake we make. So we have to ride an existing desire. So our job as a marketing analyst or strategist is to find the biggest desire and then ride on that desire. So there's a big desire, which means a big desired result that someone wants. And at the same time, there are mass desires. Now, what are mass desires? Mass desires are emotions, okay? Basically, mass desires are the reasons why people would have those big desires, right? If I have a big desire to lose weight and have a six-pack, get my six-pack abs, then that's my big desire right now at present, at this moment. But why do I have that big desire? What's the emotion behind it? If I just keep having the why method, the 5 why strategy, and I keep asking the why behind the why behind the why, and if I approach this concept with trying to dig into the whys, I will be able to dive into the root cause and understand what's the emotion behind me wanting to have a lean body and get six-pack abs, right? That emotion is the mass desire. So when you talk about different awareness stages, sophistication stages, I'll keep that for some other video, but I just wanted to give this knowledge to you today. But when you talk about one thing, I'll tell you, and then we'll wrap this up, that when you talk about verbalization, the game about how successful your ads are going to become and how much you will be able to scale. Because as I mentioned in the beginning of the videos, in this video and in many other videos, that I have handwritten a dozen viral ads, and these ads have spent 6 figures and 7 figures, single individual ads. And I've been able to write and ideate such scalable ads, not as a fluke, okay? It's engineered. And how I've been able to do it is because I understand how do I verbalize it, which means how do I understand market's desires, big desires, mass desires, and then how do I channel those desires onto a product and or a service? That's a skill of verbalization. How do you articulate the product's benefits, features, using that, position the product in the marketplace in such a way that it gives the product the selling power it actually deserves. And this is what people really struggle with. Even when they think they do understand, they really don't. 99% of the times people are only attacking product aware audience, people who know there are products for the problems they want to solve, and they're just trying to tap into them, and they don't even realize, and that's why their ads don't scale. So the whole objective behind this video was to tell you that there are 2 components required to have a scalable marketing strategy, or you can say a business strategy through advertising as a whole, if you want to scale your business. One component is the minimalistic campaign strategy. Another component is having a deep understanding of the 4 core elements to have a scalable marketing and advertising strategy. I hope this video helps. Let me know in the comments what were your biggest takeaways, and if you have questions, I'll be more than happy to take those up. I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.